technical issues again today, but don't worry, if the live stream keeps cutting out, we'll keep coming back. We are not going anywhere. Sometimes this happens. This is the beauty of live streaming. You're in the field, you're on the front line, you can prepare as much as you can, but sometimes the equipment just has these moments. But we're back. Let's start with our disclaimers. We're not here to cause any alarm, harassment, distress, or any form of intimidation. We're here today under our right to peaceful protest from public land, use our right to assembly and our freedom of speech. Our second disclaimer is we're not here to clash with non-vegans. As you had already seen from previous live streams today, we're here to come alongside you, talk to you, and turn your head against the industry that have lied to you. We're the good guys in this. We're the ones showing you the truth. We're the ones who are giving you the education so you can make an educated decision on what you do from today onwards. At the moment, you're paying for industries blindly, not knowing or understanding what's happening, and animals are the victims. Innocent, beautiful, just the most innocent animals. They're childlike beings. We've been here today, truck after truck after truck of animals have come past. Dairy cows and beef cows are being killed here. We are at ABP Sturminster. Now we are also here in collaboration with Animal Aid. Animal Aid, if you go into the description, have got an investigation link. So top 3 dots in the top right hand corner, go into the description of the live stream and that top link. Go and click on that and it'll go to all the investigations that Animal Aid have done, and you will find in that list Sturminster ABP. It was done in 2010. You will see the investigation done at the very facility that we're stood outside of today to bring you the reality and the truth. Guys, did you know that dairy cows are sent to slaughterhouses pregnant? Did you know that over 20% of dairy cows are sent to slaughterhouses pregnant? They have their babies cut out of their tummies and they literally will be suffocating on the floor. And if they're small enough, they smash their head on the floor to kill them. This is the dairy industry. People think that the dairy industry and the egg industry doesn't have any violence attached to it. In fact, the dairy industry and the egg industry are horrifically violent. Veganism is not just a diet. The racing industry, horse racing, dog racing, any entertainment from animals is violent. When you look at animal testing, it's absolutely violent. The exploitation put on these individuals is horrific. We're here today to challenge that status quo, to get you to think about it. Please put your questions in the live stream. The reason why we're live outside of a slaughterhouse is because when the animals come here today, we want to show you them. We want you to connect with them. In fact, whilst we're here, let me see if I can just get some of the animals up who came past us today. Yeah. And while we do so, please subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe and put 2 in the chat. If you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations, subscribe and put 3 in the chat. If you are anti-vegan, please double tap the live stream, like, share and subscribe.
The
cows
crying.
are bellowing and
They're
crying from where we are right now. It's so sad when you hear them. These are their bellows of mercy. These are their last moments. Oh my God, look at this. Look at these animals here. This is absolutely shocking. These animals have come past us today and they've gone inside this slaughterhouse today to be killed. They're having everything taken from them, their bodily autonomy, their babies and their life. This is for optional products.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yep, you got it?
Yep.
This is for optional products. You'll see here, let me just zoom in ever so slightly. These animals come past here about maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. Look at the fear in their eyes. Their eyes are always so wide open. It's horrible, absolutely shocking. We're here today, guys, to ask you to please question what we're saying and go and do some research on it. Go and look at the Animal Aid investigation link in the description. Go and watch Dominion on YouTube. Go and watch Peanut on YouTube. Go and see the realities behind industries that exploit animals. Because at the moment, you just pay for it without even knowing. Every time we go and do research, I ask someone, what do you know about the pig industry? What do you know about the dairy industry? I don't know anything. Okay, would you buy cow's milk? Do you buy products made from pigs? Yeah. So you support the industry that you know is violent to animals because animals end up on your plate, but you blindly support it. You don't know what you're supporting. Today, we're here to ask you to challenge because of the species that they've been born into. Right now, I can hear them bellows. Can you hear them bellows?
Yeah,
the cows crying from behind us?
Yeah,
it's so sad. It breaks your heart to stand here and hear that. You know that the only way that them bellows can be answered, the only way that the cries stop is when number 2s, good people who are non-vegan, listen to the message and they actually make a change in their life. These industries are supply and demand industries. They only continue because people go to the shops and fund them. Every time you put £1 over the counter and you fund this industry, you're asking for the next animal to go in. You're asking for the next babies to be taken away from their mum, the next animal to be taken to the slaughterhouse, the next animal to lose their life. Stop paying and then it will stop happening. Supply and demand. Like we spoke about a minute ago, if I've got a shop and I'm only selling apples and oranges and I only only sell oranges, I stopped even stocking the apples because the only way I make money is stopping the oranges. And these are the vegan products. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to these conversations. Subscribe and put 3 in the chat. If you're anti-vegan, please double tap the live stream, like, share, and subscribe. We're here today at ABP Sturminster. We're having some technical difficulties, so if anything cuts out, please make sure you subscribe, because then you can come straight back when we restart the live stream.
What would you say to someone right now who's saying, I'm eating bacon right now, delish?
Listen, the industry that you're supporting and promoting, they take piglets at 6 months old, they cut their teeth and their tails off with side cutters, and then they put them inside gas chambers. Over 88%, I think it is, or 90% of pigs go to gas chambers to be killed. They're burning from the inside out using CO2 gas. That's how that quote unquote bacon sandwich product that you're eating was made. Can I stop in with you now?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that smell is so bad.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrific, guys. You'll never be able to like smell the smell of these places until you come to these places. It's disgusting. If we naturally was like, oh yeah, this is great, then why the hell does it break my heart? Why the hell do I feel sick when I smell the smell?
Coca-Cola put, I will turn vegan right now.
Yeah, no, I think they're lying. They're a big troll on the channel. I hope you're not lying, but go and watch Dominion on YouTube, see the reality. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and comment. We are not here to say you're a bad person. We're not here to judge you. We're here purely to show you the truth, the reality of what happens. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid, who have done an investigation on this place, ABP Sturminster. Here, see for yourself in the link in the description what happens to these poor animals. Watch Dominion on YouTube to see the reality.
Someone's put, would you eat halal meat because it's more humane?
Absolutely not. No, you're absolutely wrong. There is no humane way to murder, okay? There's no humane way to kill someone who doesn't want to die. Halal means nothing, by the way. They just mug you off with words like halal, RSPCA, depending on your religion or what you think is good. The reason why you say halal is better is because maybe you have some sort of compassion towards the animals. So you're trying to find a better way of doing something that you know is absolutely horrific. Now, no religion mandates that you need to eat animals. In fact, in Muslim, in the Quran, sorry, it states that if you even kill something as small as a sparrow unjustly, you'll be thrown in the depths of hell. Now, it's unjust to eat animals, consume them, commodify them, because we don't need to. There's no necessity. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and comment. The other thing with halal is that they don't certify the farms, okay? Every single farm, there is torture, there's abuse, mutilation. In the dairy industry, it's purely abuse until the age of around 3 to 4 years old. Then they send them to a slaughterhouse to be killed, okay? They don't put halal on dairy or eggs, and male chicks are blended up alive on day 1. There's literally abuse and murder in all of these industries, but you just believe the word halal or RSPCA assured like I did. I believed RSPCA assured, but they force 6-month-old pigs inside gas chambers. They burn from the inside out. Absolutely horrific. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan.
So this is really it's going to be a frustrating one to answer because it's just so wrong.
Okay.
Only 1/3 of agricultural land is arable. If we don't have animals grazing on the other 2/3 and we just stopped eating meat or using animals, then we'll be wasting nutrients or eating food that we can't digest.
Oh God,
Where do you go with that?
There's so much there. Okay, first of all, if you have animals on land, then it's obviously arable because the animals need to eat plants to survive. The majority of the way the animals eat is soy, wheat and grain. So there's deforestation. 96% of soy is fed to the animals. If we didn't have animal agriculture, by the way, we'd free up 75% of the world's farmland. Okay, these are actual facts. 75% of the world's farmland, and we'll be able to feed the world over, because right now, right this second, there is 2 trillion animals forced into existence every single year. So if you don't understand numbers very well, because of what your comment obviously doesn't understand things very well, that's like this much, okay? But there's only 9 billion humans on the planet, which is this much. So if we didn't have animal agriculture, we'd only have to feed this many people, whereas right now we're feeding this many animals to then kill and then send to a slaughterhouse to feed people, and people aren't even getting the nutrients or getting the calories that they need because they're being fed to animals, okay? Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. I'm at a slaughterhouse today here in collaboration with Animal Aid, who have done an investigation on this place. place. Have a look in the link in the description. Have a look for yourself. See the reality of what animals face. Did you know cows only produce milk because they are mothers? They don't just produce milk because they eat grass.
Grass calories per, yeah, what about fish?
Yeah, absolutely. So fish feel pain. They have a central nervous system. They have pain receptors. They're very sensitive. They can feel when the water temperatures changes and where they'll go. Yeah, just like you and I, if you have a brain, central nervous system and pain receptors, then you can feel pain. So yeah, we should be vegan at the least. You don't aspire to be vegan. You be vegan if you're just a normal, kind person who has a heart and a brain, okay? It's just that right now, most people have just been indoctrinated by the lies of the industries like slaughterhouses, animal farmers, and the whole industry as itself.
I can just see, guys, I can see that the stream has been lagging and we've had connection issues there. We've now seemed to have got stable signal where we are, so we'll just leave the pod where it is.
Yep.
And stay here. But thanks for sticking in the stream.
Yeah, guys, please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. In fact, when people say small holding, local, outdoor, whatever, it's all just a lie to make you feel better. We actually went on to a farm that wasn't even on the map, by the way. We went onto this farm, which is a pig farm, okay? Basically, the moment we went onto this farm, we noticed that the mums and their babies, the mums had these like nose rings, which makes them stop digging because pigs naturally love to dig. They like to dig for acorns and things. They had nose rings on so they couldn't dig. They couldn't exhibit their natural behavior. Those babies had tails cut off. They would have been mutilated because they are farmed in such close proximity. All the animals were coughing everywhere. And then we saw that weird contraption thing, didn't we? Where I think they call them stalks. Basically, they're artificial insemination tubes, which they basically trap the pigs in, they stick them inside of them, and they force them pregnant. All these animals are not here by accident, they're forced into existence to keep up with demand. That's why it's about supply and demand. Let me explain more in a second, but first put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. I can't remember what I was about to explain.
What do you say to someone who says that cows aren't killed in the dairy industry?
Yeah, I'd say that you've just been indoctrinated to believe a lie. Every single cow in the dairy industry is killed, whether that's inside a slaughterhouse or on the farm. Males in the dairy industry, because cows only produce milk because they're mothers. When they give birth to their baby, if they're males, they don't produce milks. They don't produce milks, they class them as a waste product. They send them to a slaughterhouse just a few weeks old, or they get sent off to be fattened up for veal inside these dark boxes because they say it makes the meat more tender. You're literally eating babies, stealing babies, forcibly breeding these animals into existence, and they all get sent to a slaughterhouse to be killed. Okay, go to the link in the description, see the investigation on this place that we're stood outside of right now, done by Animal Aid. We're here in collaboration with Animal Aid. That massive truck
Still in there.
has been in there for like an hour.
Yeah, still in there. I wonder what they're doing in there.
Yeah, I just realised today, guys, if you've been on this live stream, you have seen there has been this small holding farmers come here, big factory farm trucks. It doesn't matter where they come from, it's all the same. The standard practice is the exact same. They all get sent to a slaughterhouse to be killed, to be stabbed in the throat behind these evil gates of hell. More support from someone then. Evil gates of hell. It truly is the most evil place on earth. So slaughterhouses, animal farms, animal experimentations, because we're not here just here about animals who are used in the food system. We're here for all oppression to animals. So vegans, just don't oppress any animals.
Someone was saying, what is the name of this slaughterhouse? Where can they see more about it?
This is ABP Sturminster. So go look in the link in the description, look at the investigation done by Animal Aid. That's who we're here in collaboration with today. Who did the investigation. You'll find the activity happening inside these places, not adhering to animal welfare laws. But we're not here for animal welfare laws, even though they're crap and they're never adhered to anyway. We're here to abolish this. Animals should have the right to their own life, just like you should have the right to your own life. Everyone who is sentient should have the right to their own life. It's basic moral decency. Okay, it's just that right now, like so many people in this live stream will probably say, oh, I love my dog, I love my cats, oh yeah, we should be kind. But you can't preach kindness and be not a nice person without being vegan, because otherwise you're knowingly sending animals to slaughter. Now, if you're number 2, you just don't know the industry. I'm not judging you for the fact that you don't understand. It's not your fault. The industry has lied to you. But go and watch Dominion on YouTube and see the reality, see what they do to animals, because until you know, you don't know. Girl, it's just seeing the faces of people who work here disgust me. Absolutely disgust me. The people who think it's okay to kill animals, to kill grieving mothers, to kill little babies is absolutely evil. It's so evil. They deserve pressure every single day. They need pressure every single day. Please put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and subscribe. I'm at a slaughterhouse right now. They are killing cows behind me. We've been listening to the cows cry today behind these gates, these evil gates of hell, small, holding big, it doesn't matter where they come from. They all get sent to a slaughterhouse and are killed with the same knife. Every single animal is decapitated and stabbed in the throat.
David Lee put welfare is better than crying outside.
Absolutely not. Welfare means nothing to the animals. Absolutely nothing. Okay, there is no right way to have a slave. There is no right way to have an animal slave. Okay, it's absolutely evil that you would even say that. Okay, there's no right way to murder you, is there? Even if I gave you the best welfare. What if I took you and your family, or you and your wife or your husband, and made you pregnant, took your babies away, and was like, you know what, it's okay though, because I give them the best welfare, and then I'm gonna take them to a slaughterhouse and be decapitated. You'd be like, what the hell, you psychopath?
Emily Wheatley put, if you care so much for the animals, what would happen to them when you vegans are taking their food by destroying their food to plant yours? You're not answering it because you don't have a real answer.
Okay, right, the dumbness in your question is so horrific. Right, okay, there is 2 trillion animals forced, okay? Forced into existence. Remember that word, forced, okay? They're not here accidentally, okay? There's only 9 billion humans on the planet right now. All those animals are fed plants, okay? 2 trillion animals fed plants. If we got rid of animal agriculture, it wouldn't exist anymore, okay? Because it's all about supply and demand. So the whole time you're demanding animal products, they are forcing them into existence to keep up with your personal demand, okay? Well, when you stop, that demand drops, so does the supply. So they won't force them into existence for you personally anymore. And then over time, when more and more people go vegan, they won't be forcing these animals into existence, and then at the end there'll be so many vegans who are just kind people who just have sanctuaries, and then we'll rescue the animals at the end and let them live out their life, okay? Because that's the right thing to do, the right thing to do. Talk about, oh, you're eating their food and you're doing this. Well, you're consuming the most amount of plants by not being vegan. Vegans consume the least. Okay, please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm at a slaughterhouse today. If you're asking questions, then you don't understand the reality of what these animals face. If you're saying things like plants feel pain, crop deaths, or whatever, you don't understand what the animals face. So go and watch Dominion on YouTube, see the reality for yourself. Okay, see the reality for yourself. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. We've done an investigation on this slaughterhouse where cows are killed from the dairy industry. Beef cows are killed from the beef industry. They're 2 separate industries, okay? Well, they're 2 different breeds of animals.
Aubrey's back. Hey guys, it's me, Aubrey. I love you guys so much. You made me vegan. Thank you for protecting the animals. It's been 3 months since you guys helped me be vegan, and I love animals, and you guys are awesome.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming back onto this live stream and letting us know. It's so nice to see the nice comments and the people. You are the light in the world, okay? There's a lot of darkness in the world. The animals have it the worst. They have the darkest cloud over them, the coldest sheds, the most horrific bullies who bully them every single day, the animal farmers and slaughterhouse workers. And then you have people like yourself who see the injustice and change. They need everybody to change urgently. Let everyone know in the chat why you changed, because people aren't understanding supply and demand. They don't understand that when you purchase animal products, they don't realize that you are sending animals to slaughterhouses personally for you. You good?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, personally for you. That's why I went vegan. How do you work in this place? It's absolutely shameful to work in a place like this. Where is your morals? Where is your morals? Guys, please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, and subscribe. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid, okay, who've done an investigation on this place and loads of other places. Go and look in the link in the description at the investigations. A lot of people will say, oh, what about halal? Oh, what about stun? Oh, what about this? What about that? It's all the same, okay? You won't be able to tell the difference between halal and standard, okay? Just going to switch back in.
David Lee is saying that nothing's changing because we're not demanding anything. You're right. Vegans aren't demanding anything. I can't demand you to be vegan. I can't demand you to remove your personal accountability towards the violence of animals. But I can show you the truth and the reality of what you support if you're not vegan. The only people who are demanding anything are non-vegans demanding animals are exploited and get put into slaughterhouses to be killed. People often say vegans are forcing this on me, you're demanding and forcing on my opinions. But the reality is, We're just explaining the truth. What you do with the information is up to you. We can't follow you around and make you be vegan, right? But we can tell you the truth. Some people, when you tell them the truth, they get upset. Some people are grateful to hear it. Now, most vegans, when they hear the truth and they go vegan, they wish they heard the truth a lot earlier. And for the animals, especially the ones who have come past us today to die behind us in that gate there, they wish that you all heard this message a lot earlier. Subscribe and put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat. If you're not vegan but you're open-minded to these conversations, subscribe, put 3 in the chat. If you're anti-vegan, double tap the live stream. Please like, share, subscribe. Go into the description and go and click on the animal aid investigation link.
I feel like I can hear sounds of a truck.
Yeah, if a truck comes, I think we should leave this static and just spin it, and I'll get it on here.
Yeah,
Got a question?
We got Kegis Stimper. How do I eat vegetarian healthy?
Okay, listen, vegetarians send animals to slaughterhouses, so no vegetarian, vegan. If you want to eat vegan healthy, then you go to the Vegan Squad coaching team, or John the Bodybuilder Vegan, or henchherbivore.com, and you go and sign up to their free ebooks and get all their recipes, and you literally learn how to cook vegan food. You have to focus on the why. Now, the fact you've said vegetarian makes me understand that you don't understand the eggs, or the dairy, or the fashion, or the animal testing, or the animal prisons, which are known as zoos and aquariums. Being vegan is an ethical position against the exploitation and use of animals, full stop. It's not just a diet, okay? So let me just tell you what happens pick one of them. Listen, what one should I tell them about?
Well, he's just said, thanks, man, I'm eating cheese, though.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Let's talk about dairy. First of all, can I just say thank you for being here, and thank you for taking the time to put them comments in that chat. Really appreciate you being here as a non-vegan listening. Let me give you dairy in 60 seconds so you understand the dairy industry. Cows only produce milk because they're mums, so they have a pregnancy forced on them. They carry their baby for 9 months. In the dairy industry, when the babies are born, they're taken away. Whether they're male or female, they're taken away immediately. Males in the dairy industry don't produce milk, so they are executed within a couple of days to 6 months of their life. Most often a couple of days. Females are separated and put into isolation hutches, and when they're sexually mature, they get pregnancies put on them too. The mums who are then producing breast milk for their babies get taken to the milking parlour, get put onto these big extensive milking turntables where they are milked within an inch of their life. They don't wait for the milk to stop before they re-impregnate them and keep that perpetuated violence going. When she can either no longer produce enough milk to be deemed profitable or produce a baby, she's deemed a waste product and she'll go to the slaughterhouse. We've seen dairy cows coming behind us today to be killed. This is the industry you supported for that block of cheese. So really, forced impregnation, kidnap and murder for that cheese. Now you could go and buy the vegan cheese,
yeah,
and it doesn't contain any of that. You can even go and get like Honestly Tasty, do really good vegan cheese, even the Cathedral City vegan cheese. You can go varieties of options where all of that violence that I just explained doesn't exist. It doesn't take part of it. So doesn't that sound like the more moral and ethical thing to do?
Yeah, Kegis Stan put like Jesus with an unhappy face and put damn.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we're here, for this exact moment right now. Someone who's asked a question, we've been able to answer it, no judgment, just here's the information you probably didn't know, and then that information being received. And like what someone said earlier, I now can't force or demand you to do anything, but now does your moral compass think, you know what, I should just get the vegan one, I'll buy the vegan option, because that aligns with me as a person. If you're someone who is kind and compassionate, if you're someone who has an empathetic heart, doesn't being vegan align with you? Let's just break down what vegan is. Veganism is removing your personal accountability, removing your personal involvement in exploiting and hurting and using animals. Doesn't it just sound like a nice thing to do anyway? Like,
Cryptic Eye put, what information are you giving? Where's the proof?
Okay, you can go to Dominion on YouTube to watch all of the industries that exploit animals on there. It goes through literally eggs, dairy, beef, fashion, animal testing. So that's Dominion on YouTube. Go and watch it on there. You can also go into the top 3 dots in the top right-hand corner, click on the description of this live stream, and there's an animalaid.org.uk/investigation link where you can see the investigations done in slaughterhouses right here in the UK, and actually in the slaughterhouse that we stood right outside of this morning. Go and see what happens to animals with your own eyes, because what we describe doesn't do it justice. You got to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah, that Chip guy's in the room put, be smart, be strong, be vegan.
Hey Chip, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go and subscribe to Chip. Chip does a great job live streaming, doing what we do, just bringing the information to the public, challenging the status quo, getting people to critically think about it, and does a great job of just bringing the conclusion around to we should be vegan. It's morally and ethically consistent. It's logical to be vegan, simple.
Oh, Kakistan, who you just answered that question for, but you guys are awesome. All these people are freaking out because they want to justify their meat eating habit. If you guys aren't crazy, then they feel morally culpable. Yeah, that's so
absolutely.
true.
This is the thing, like you can bring the information and the transparency to someone, and not everyone's ready to receive that message, and they have that chimp paradox moment. They jump up and down. It goes back to like when you're a child and you're in the shop and you want sweets and the parent or guardian says no and they throw a tantrum.
Yeah.
This is what adults are doing when you say you're not a baby cow. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But let's just think of that for a second. How amazing have the dairy industry's marketing team could literally sell ice to Eskimos because they've told you all that you're baby cows and that by drinking and eating cow's milk somehow is going to be miraculously amazing for us with calcium and protein. We're not baby cows, but we've all been conditioned. How many of us at one point in our lives have thought cow's milk's really good for me?
Oh, they're crying. I can
Did
hear
you
them
hear
shouting
that?
and crying.
Can you guys hear that on the live stream?
Whoa.
If you can't, they're bellowing. I think that's the kill floor.
Yeah.
I think I just
it
heard
is.
the not box gun on the kill floor. If whoa.
They're, oh my God.
Whoa.
They're shouting at them so much to me. Oh, God, I'd be so scared inside there. It's just hurt.
I don't know if you can hear this on the live stream, but for context, all we can hear from the kill floor, which is like 50 meters that way, is shouting, bellowing, and then the gun and the knot box. You can hear the animals dropping potentially in the knot box. It's just so sad. It's
I can't believe it
horrifying.
happens.
And these are the animals that we've seen today come past us. We filmed them. We saw their eyes and their ears and their nose as they come past. Their bellows of mercy can only be answered by you if you're not vegan. This is why we're here today. Our objective is to come alongside you as your friend and tell you, if you don't like the sound of this, if you don't like what we're saying, then the least you can do is be vegan and then use your voice of freedom to speak up to those who are oppressed. The animals, they have it the worst. They're the biggest oppressed group out there. We can end this because it's a supply and demand injustice. There's so many other injustices in the world that we can't affect. This is the biggest injustice, and you have the power to stop it in your pocket, in your wallet.
Yeah, Kakistan King put, why is everyone so evil in this chat? God damn, yeah.
I know, Kazakhstan, welcome to animal rights, welcome to veganism. I'd understand the anger and the aggression if our message was to hurt the animals. If like, animal exploitation didn't exist and we all morally considered all animals and we were stood here saying, let's do this to animals, screw the cows, screw the pigs, screw the chickens, let's be violent to them, let's exploit them, let's take their eggs, let's take their milk, let's take their babies, let's take their skin, let's test on them for money. I'd understand the hate, I'd understand the aggression. But when we're saying to people, let's be kind to these animals, let's morally consider them, let's stop harming them for profit, we have alternatives. The hatred that it's met with is absolutely crazy. But you know what? We're not here. The majority of the hate comes from a number 3, right?
Yeah.
The anti-vegans. But the majority of the world isn't a number 3. The majority of the world may be a number 2. Vegans aren't the majority yet, right? So the majority are non-vegans, but the majority of non-vegans aren't anti-vegan. They just don't know the truth. They just don't know. So this is why the animals stand a chance, because when we get the message to people who do care but just don't know, they have the option to remove their personal accountability and go vegan. Subscribe in the chat if you've already done that. Subscribe, but you're in the chat. If you're not vegan yet, but you're open-minded to it and wondering why we're here, thank you for being here. Subscribe for free in the chat. If you're anti-vegan, double tap the live stream. Let's get the likes up on this live stream before more animals come in. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Their investigation links are in the description here today. We're not here to argue. We're not here to cause alarm, harassment, and distress or any form of intimidation. We're here to talk to you. What was that, sorry?
I just said hi to Kathy. There's a lot of vegans in the room right now defending the animals.
Vegans, thank you so much for being here defending the animals with us. It's a difficult place to be, that chat room.
Maybe we're about to switch over, but maybe tell people why you went vegan.
Yeah, well, let's swap over. You tell them, then we'll swap over next and I'll do the same. Why did you go vegan?
Oh, watch out, they're driving at us. Driving at people. Oh, window up this time. Window up this time, sorry. We have to be really like swivel our heads here and stuff because these people who work in these facilities seem to be quite unhinged. They've driven at us on all sorts. But yeah, I went vegan because for 26 years of my life, I was a number two. Someone who I was saying I loved animals. I loved my dog. My dog was my absolute best friend in this world, more than my friends at school or any family members. I loved my dog the most. But I didn't realise that I was eating cow's milk, I was eating eggs, I was eating the flesh of animals, and I never even thought about it. I never thought about the connection. I had cognitive dissonance, which means you're separated from the victim. So when you go to Tesco's, you pick up a pint of milk, you don't even realise that there's been an animal exploited for that pint of milk. Then I saw Joey Carbstrong's video on YouTube when I was 26. He was debating someone about the dairy industry. And I was like, what is there to debate about dairy? I thought cows just eat grass and produce milk, don't they? He was telling someone that cows only produce milk because they are mothers. They don't just produce milk because they eat grass. And then I saw on the screen footage of a cow inside of a slaughterhouse, just like a slaughterhouse like this, being killed. Bolt gun in the head, stabbed in the throat, bolt gun in the head, slashed open. She could feel everything, the fear in her eyes. Sat with me forever. It broke my heart. We both watched it together. We absolutely cried our eyes out. And then from that moment on, we went vegan. We went vegan to defend these animals who need us to be vegan, because we realised that it upset us so much, but we realised that we had been lied to and we were the reason she was in that position. Okay, the very least that you can do is be vegan. It's being neutral. Being vegan is neutral. If you're not vegan right now, you're on the side of the slaughterhouses, you're on the side of the animal farmers, you're on the side of the animal experimentation sites or the labs, you're on the side of bullfighting, you're on the side of horse racing. Now, a vegan wouldn't pay for any of that. We don't wear animals, we don't use animals, we don't see animals as a resource for us in any which way, because the moment you see them as a resource is the moment they're exploited and killed. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Keep sharing and commenting. Keep liking this live. It helps get the algorithm out to the world so more people can see the animals who have been led in this evil place today, who are crying for their life behind me, bellowing for mercy, answer their cries. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid, who've done an investigation on this facility here. That truck is still in there. Guys, there was a red truck earlier that came in that is still in there right now, being washed down. Before we've seen here, there's been blood over the floor, all in that corner over there we caught before, where they potentially killed somebody on the truck, in front of sheep, by the way. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Keep sharing, keep asking questions. Kakistan, I'm really sorry if I keep saying your name wrong. I want to ask you, is there anything stopping you from being vegan and defending animals today? If there's anyone in this live chat who's like, you know what, you're right with what you're saying, it shouldn't happen, tell me what's stopping you from being vegan today, because this is a moral urgency. We can't think about being vegan, you have to be vegan urgently, because it's happening right now.
The Deadly Tika keeps putting on you pro-life as well. I'm in alignment with you not killing any living creature. This is an animal rights channel. Human rights always overshadows animal rights. Our opinion on that will remain ours.
I don't understand how people literally can see that I'm at a slaughterhouse. They're killing little baby cows from the dairy industry, and mother cows from the dairy industry and beef industry, and across the world, 2 trillion animals every single year being murdered against their will. And you're here saying, oh, I bet you're not pro-life. What about you? Are you vegan? Because if you can't be pro-life if you're not vegan.
No, they didn't say, I bet you're not. They said, are you?
It has nothing to do with what
but
I'm
I'm
doing
saying
right
we're
now.
focused on the animals here because they always get put into the background.
People always ask that because they expect me to, they think that we'll bring up that yeah, people often say, oh, what about abortion and stuff too, but you're not directly paying for that, are you? Every single day you pay for animals to be exploited, used and commodified for you personally. You can stop right now.
Dale's Daily Drains put, I hate how these animals are treated, but I like the taste. My problem with what you're doing is making us feel bad for our opinions and our life decisions. Express your love for animals, but don't belittle.
I'm just telling you the reality. If you feel guilty for knowing the truth, then that's a good thing. That shows that you have compassion in your heart. No one goes vegan because they stop liking the taste. They go vegan because of the moral issue for the animals. This is a war upon the animals, okay? And when you go and watch Dominion on YouTube and you see the reality and you listen to the guys behind me here today, you'll be like, yeah, you know what, there's nothing that can justify this. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. I'm not here to be here to belittle you, I'm not here to hate on you, I'm here to tell you the truth. I'm here to stand up for the animals, okay? You got to understand that everybody on this live stream, you're not the victim. Animals right now are inside gas chambers. They're inside slaughterhouses being killed and stabbed in the front, decapitated because you are not vegan. So this is why it's a moral issue, okay? This is literally a war upon the animals that you can stop partaking in today. Oh, it's horrific. Just move. Reverse, move. Guys, please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe.
Where are we today?
Yeah, we're here at a slaughterhouse. We're at a slaughterhouse. I didn't know if he was going to try and run me over then, or what they were trying to do there. We're here in collaboration with Animal Aid, who've done an investigation on this place. Go and have a look in the link in the description. Go and have a look for yourself at the investigations. See for yourself what happens to animals. I bet you didn't know that in the egg industry, male chicks who don't produce eggs are blended up alive. A lot of people get confused with what we're saying when we say this. Basically, we're not saying about the eggs the chickens lay. We're saying about the fertile eggs from the parent breeder shed where they want to get the egg-laying hens. They go to a hatchery and they sex them between male and female. Let me explain more in a second. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. In the egg industry, they come from parent breeder shed. The fertile eggs get sent to a hatchery where they sex them between male and female. The males are slightly darker than the females, and basically they're not the same breed as the meat chickens. They're 2 different breeds. So the males in the egg industry are classed as a waste product. They send them to a slaughter. They send them to a macerator alive. So they go on a conveyor belt, they just drop straight into an open blender alive. Shameful. They laugh because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's such childish behaviour because they don't know how to react, because they know what they do is absolutely horrific. Okay, the egg-laying hens get sent to big barns. They can have up to 30,000 chickens in a big barn. They'll call that free range. Chickens have been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. Naturally, they should only lay 12. It's their period, it's their cycle every single month. They've been modified to lay so many eggs. It depletes the nutrients from their bodies. So if you ever rescue chickens, make sure you give the eggs back to them like we do at home. We have rescue chickens as well. At 18 months old, those chickens end up in a slaughterhouse. The majority of the time it's a gas chamber. Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. We're not here to hate on you, but we are here to tell you the truth. And the truth, if the truth makes you feel guilty and makes you feel a certain way, then that is a good thing, okay? The reason I went vegan is because I felt guilty, I felt sad, I felt heartbroken.
Dale's Daily Drains, thanks for your comment. Dale's Daily Drains, but keep up the good work, but there is a way of getting your point across. Keep it about the animals and the process, and people will change. My dad was a butcher for 27 years and I'm thinking of changing.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for your comment. We always keep it about the animals. That's all veganism is. It's only about animal rights. The thing is though, right, I'm outside a slaughterhouse where my heart is breaking for the animals. I can hear crying behind me. I don't know if it's captured on my mic. I don't know if you can hear the cries. It breaks my heart. Now, sadness and anger is very close emotions. When you're sad, you get angry. And when you're angry, you can sometimes cry. So sometimes they're intertwined. I come with passion and fury because that's what the animals need me to do. Thank you so much for saying that. You're thinking about changing as well. Anyone can change. Anybody can change. We got David in the chat who's an ex-slaughterhouse inspector. He used to work in the industry. His family did, and now he's vegan animal rights activist as well. But I would recommend for anybody who doesn't fully understand yet, Dominion on YouTube. Watch Dominion on YouTube. Cheeseinator put, don't eggs need fertilization to be baby chickens? Yes, they do. So I was trying to explain this because a lot of people get confused. So in the egg industry, okay, before you get the eggs in the shop, basically, if you see this as a pyramid, at the top you have the parent breeder sheds. They're the females and the males, which they'll fertilize the eggs, okay, to get egg-laying hens. Those eggs that are fertilized go to a hatchery, the next step, where they sex them between male and female. The males are separated from the females because the males don't produce eggs. They're sent to a blender alive. On day 1, they've still got their shells around them, cute little male chicks, in a macerator alive because they don't produce eggs. They're different breed to the meat chickens that you would eat. Okay, then the females get sent this way to the barns. 30,000 chickens can be in one big barn. They call that free range. And then the eggs that those chickens lay, the unfertile eggs, get sent to supermarkets. So then when you pay for eggs, you pay for that whole process. You pay for male chicks to be blended up alive. Also, chickens have been genetically modified to lay 300 eggs a year. They naturally should only lay 12, so they need the nutrients back in their bodies. If you rescue them, make sure you throw their eggs on the floor for them, smash them open so they can eat them themselves. And then at 18 months old from the barns, they get sent to a slaughterhouse to be killed because their egg production slows down. Chickens should live up to like 9-10 years. Please subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share and comment. By the way, if that doesn't make sense, please keep asking the questions because there's a lot to take in. But basically, unless you're vegan and you're in that neutral position of being vegan, you pay for animals to be used, commodified, mutilated, kidnapped, have pregnancy forced upon them, experimented on, and sent to slaughterhouses when you can just be vegan and not pay for it. And then what you have to do is become an activist and fight for the animals. It's basically like if there was a dog in your house that was being attacked next door in the next room, you're being the vegan is the one who's sitting on the sofa the other side saying, well, I'm not partaking in that violence, but being an animal rights activist is someone who goes inside and defends that dog from the person who's hurting them.
Yeah, absolutely, well said. Let's see someone put in there that if you don't milk cows, they die. Listen, cows produce milk because they're mums. They have pregnancies forced on them, they have their babies stolen from them. They then have their milk stolen from them to be commodified and to be profited from. The dairy industry isn't doing the cows a favour. It's not like the cows eat grass, magically produce milk, and then the farmer's doing them a favour milking them in case they don't, then they die. It's not the case. These are like the children's storybooks that you told when you were a young kid. Like the farmer walking along, picking up the little chicken's eggs with the chicken walking beside them, everyone all happy. That's not the egg industry. Mel's just explained the egg industry. It's far from it. But these industries never lead honest marketing campaigns. And if they did lead honest marketing campaigns, consumers would never pay for any of their products because their products are absolutely horrific, violent, evil, and exploitative industries. Let me tell you something about the sheep industry. Let me tell you about the wool industry. In the wool industry, sheep have been genetically modified to grow so much wool that they have to be sheared. Now, because they poo obviously out of the bottom and they've got a lot of wool around there, they do a process called mulesing, where they slice the backs of the sheep's legs open to produce scar tissue. That means that they can't produce wool on the back of their legs, so when they do go to the toilet, it doesn't stick to their wool, so they don't get fly strike. They then band or clip their tails until their tails rot and drop off. Sheep are supposed to have big long tails like dogs. This is what happens in the wool industry. Then the farmer paints the picture that he's doing the sheep a favour by doing that for them so that they don't get ill, pretending that the farmers protect them and care about them. The only thing that the farmers care and protect is their profit margins. This process is called mulesing. You can go and look it up yourself. It's done with no anaesthetic. It's bodily mutilation. Is absolutely horrific. Yet the wool industry, you think nothing's wrong, right? We're just giving the sheep a haircut. What happens when they can't produce enough wool? They get sent off to a slaughterhouse, they get chopped up and they get put into the meat industry. This is how these industries disguise the exploitation, commodification and violence. This is where the beef industry and the dairy industry, the dairy industry leans on the beef industry to keep the indoctrination of babies not being taken away from their mums. Because in the beef industry, babies are kept with their parents because the milk's intended for their children. They want them to drink it because they want them to be big and strong as fast as possible. Subscribe at 1 in the chat if you're vegan, subscribe at 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, be open-minded to this conversation. Subscribe at 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream. Please like, share and subscribe. Go into the link description today. We're here in collaboration with Animal Aid, who investigated ABP Sturminster, where we are right now. And if you go and look at that description link, you can see the investigation done by Animal Aid back in 2010, or you can go to animalaid.org.uk and look at Animal Aid's work for animals. They do an incredible job defending the animals and bringing into the light what happens in the darkness. We're not here today to cause alarm, harassment, distress, or any form of intimidation. We're not here today to clash with you. We're here to come alongside you and show you the reality, connect with the animals, see the injustice that they face.
Someone's saying about they only eat chickens, but only chickens who are like end of life.
It doesn't matter, like they're still sent to a slaughterhouse. We're not saying that animals should live 99.9% of their life and then be killed. We should say that animals should never be killed for an optional product that you don't need. There's no necessity to do this to animals. When there's no necessity, there's no justification. Right? It doesn't matter. Imagine if we went into an old person's home with a shotgun and started killing all the old people and eating them and saying, well, they led a good life. They were all like free range and organic and roaming free, and they were quite close to dying anyway. So we went in and killed them to eat them, and we get good protein. It's absolutely crazy. Why do we try so hard to exploit and commodify animals? Why don't we just have the vegan option? Why don't we just put our hands up and say, you know what, you're right, it is wrong. I'm going to be vegan. I'm going to get the vegan chicken, I'm going to get the oat milk, I'm going to get the soy milk, I'm going to get the vegan burgers, the vegan sausages, and remove my personal accountability for this violence towards animals. It just makes sense, right? Subscribe, put 1 in the chat if you're vegan and you've done that. Subscribe, put 2 in the chat if you're not vegan, but you're open-minded to why we're here. Subscribe, put 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan.
We've got someone saying, Stone Raider, is your tattooing vegan?
Yes, Stone Raider, thank you very much for pointing out my tattoos. Tattoo Ink's vegan, getting my tattoos done by a vegan animal rights activist with vegan ink, and they're vegan tattoos. I've got vegan on the back of my head, I've got Animal Defender on the back of my head, on my arm I've got Last Kiss from Mother. This is a dairy industry tattoo because dairy is murder. Dairy cows are sent to slaughterhouse. Dairy cows have come past us today, here to die. Anything we can do to raise awareness for the animals, we will do. This is what our objective is. The only way we can end this perpetuated violence onto them is by you listening to us and going vegan, clicking on the links, seeking out the information, going doing your own research and finding out the answers to all what we're saying. Don't take what we're saying for granted. In fact, the words that we use to describe these industries don't do the industries justice. And if you were to click on any of these links and go and watch it with your own eyes, you'd see the reality for yourself, and that's what makes people go vegan.
Red Tiger put, how do you get protein?
Protein comes from plants, comes from the amino acids in the soil during photosynthesis. We think that animals' bodies and milk and eggs contain protein. These animals were fed plants. Where do you think they get their protein from? You can select your ingredients. So if you can select your ingredients, why are you choosing ingredients that were having a subjective experience of their life, who didn't want to die, who had friends and family, who had the ability to feel pain, who had emotion, when you can just choose plants which are not sentient, no harm done, no oppression, no violence, no exploitation. You get all the nutrients you need.
Someone said this sounds bad, that's why I go hunting.
Yeah, listen, hunting is bad too. Taking the life of an animal when you don't need to is bad. There's no glorification or romancing in hunting. I don't care how good a shot you are, I don't care if it's an instant kill, I don't care all the romantic things that people put around hunting. Walked for 3 hours into the wilderness, came back with the dead animal. It's disgusting, it's evil, it's violent. You're killing an animal, you're killing an individual, you're taking away their life for an optional product. You don't need it, it's taste pleasure. You don't need it for religion, culture, tradition. It's unethical, it's immoral. Imagine if you went into the wilderness and shot a human and said, it's okay, I shot them with 1 kill, I hunted them, it's the most ethical way of controlling the population of humans. We're at 9 billion humans now, there's too many, so I'm doing my part for controlling numbers of an invasive species. Humans are the biggest invasive species.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. David put, the way is as much welfare regulations as possible, making it more expensive and less cruel.
Say it again.
Basically, more welfare.
We're not here for welfare. We're here for the rights of animals. We're not asking for sharper knives. We're not asking for less chains, bigger fields, grass-fed. All these things, it's irrelevant when you come to a slaughterhouse. We've seen it here today. Small holding trucks and factory farm trucks have both turned up here today. And this is where welfare falls apart. And people who do consider welfare see the reality of it. The fact that these animals who come from these small holding, high welfare farms, they're killed by the same person with the same knife as the animals who are in the factory farms. If you are someone who considers welfare of animals, ask yourself why you consider the welfare of animals. Is it because you morally consider animals? Because if you morally consider animals, and this is why you worry about the welfare of them, then I'll put it to you that you're not morally considering them because you're still trying to exploit them to an extent. You're just trying to make yourself feel better about exploiting them. Well, you don't need. If you do morally consider animals, being vegan is the only logical extension of that moral framework.
Yeah, we've got Kathy who said empty cages, not bigger cages.
Yeah, absolutely. It's as simple as that. Animal rights, their welfare isn't why we're here. We're here to ask for their bodily autonomy and their right to their own life. Could you imagine if as an individual you had to fight for your bodily autonomy or your life? It's absolutely horrific. It's so sad to think that these animals are forced into existence, into a world that commodifies them and exploits them. They never stand a chance. From the minute that they open their eyes, they are consumed, they are commodified, they are owned, in my opinion. It's no different to slavery. And then they're executed and murdered when they don't meet the profit margins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Stone Radar put, you have canine teeth for a reason.
We haven't got canine teeth, don't be silly.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. Canine teeth, ridiculous. Go and look at a lion's teeth, then look at your teeth.
Yeah, it's ridiculous that people try and use anything to try and.
Canine teeth.
Yeah, I know.
Next you're going to say we got claws.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Just because you think these little pointy bits, by the way, on the end of these flat teeth, they're known as bicuspid teeth. They're not there to rip flesh open. They're there just to tear plants open. It's ridiculous. You go and try and bite into a pig with your teeth. You'll be there for a month for Sundays. It's ridiculous.
More people just ask about protein.
Listen, protein comes from plants. I don't know how many times I can say it. The
Yeah.
amino acids in the soil during photosynthesis is where protein is made. So all protein comes from plants. The animals then eat the plants and then they get slaughtered in the name of protein. Can you believe how crazy that system is? Why don't you go and get the purest source of protein from plants and avoid your personal responsibility towards all the violence, exploitation and murder towards the most innocent childlike beings, the animals. It's a win-win, right? You don't have to be responsible for violating animals' rights and killing them, murdering them in slaughterhouses, and you can get all the protein that you need. Go and sign up to Vegan Squad Bodybuilding Coaching. Go and sign up to Hench Herbivore's website. Go and look at nutritionfacts.org. Go and look at the Academy of Dietitian and Nutrition. Go and look at doctors like Dr. Nagra, Mini Patel. Go and see what these guys are saying. There's an abundance of science out there, peer-reviewed data, now saying that you do not need to eat or exploit animals' bodies or secretions to be healthy. You could be vegan.
It's flipping easy to understand.
It's simple, isn't it?
Like, I honestly can't understand why people are making up the most stupid excuses to keep putting animals in this oppressive position. Like, surely we should be making excuses to not. Even if, say if there was something that we couldn't get from plants, or say if we had to for survival, I'll be flipping making sure I find a way to not oppress animals, because I wouldn't want to be oppressed. We shouldn't find ways to oppress them and go, oh, you know what? What about B12 though? Because I don't know where B12 comes from. Oh, must kill an animal. Absolutely not. They're given supplements. The animals are given supplements. You eat the supplements secondhand.
This is hilarious, and this shows you the intelligence level of people, right?
Yeah.
Stone Raider put, every sports scientist in the world worth anything will tell you you need to eat meat. Sports scientists are not dietitians, they're not nutritionists, they don't know anything about it. They've just done a little 2-day course. They've not done the same course as what dietitians have. Go and look at Mini Patel, go and look at Dr. Greger, nutritionfacts.org. Go and see what actual doctors have come up with, what the actual science says.
Yeah, the thing is, you have to look at peer-reviewed studies. A lot of these studies are sponsored by the meat, eggs, dairy, fish industries to indoctrinate you. They basically have billions of pounds to indoctrinate you because they want you to spend your money on their wages so that they can have nice cars and have nice houses whilst they exploit victims at the end of it. The only way that they would ever get your money is by lying to you. You wouldn't see these industries, like Steve says, have their marketing campaign as, yeah, you know, we hate animals, we gas them alive, they burn from the inside out. 6 months old pigs burn from the inside out. You know what, we're going to corrupt the RSPCA Assured scheme because they were freedom foods. They then bought the RSPCA Assured name to make people feel better about paying for gas chambers. Imagine if they said that truthfully to you, you'd be like, what the hell? You absolute psychopaths, you absolute demons to the animals. I'm not going to give you my money. You'd be like, no way, I want to defend the animals. If they told you the truth, you'd never pay for this, but they've indoctrinated you from a child, so you've never even questioned it from birth, that your parents were indoctrinated as well. If you are not vegan, now I say this with respect, because I was too, if you are not vegan, you have been mugged off by the lies and you believed it. Okay, vegans are just people who just seen the reality and they go vegan because that's the moral, ethical thing to do. Just normal people are vegan. The neutral position is to be vegan. If you're not vegan, you are actually on the oppressor side. You are the oppressor because by your actions, you pay directly for the stabbing of animals in their throats for you personally, but it may not be your fault. You might not know the industry. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, and 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment, and please subscribe. As I said to you, I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to hate on you, but I am here to tell you the truth. These animals behind me today are being killed. They're being stabbed in the throat. Cows from the dairy industry. No. And cows from the beef industry. They're 2 different breeds of cows. One has been genetically modified to grow really large in a short space of time. At 18 months old, they send cows to slaughterhouses for their flesh. Okay, and then you have the The dairy cows who have been genetically modified to have bigger udders produce so much milk because they're exploiting them for their breast milk. Cows don't just produce milk because they are cows, they can produce milk because they are mothers. They've had pregnancy forced upon them, they've had babies taken away from them. Their udders have been kicked, they've been smacked in the head, they've been pushed, pulled, have gates whacked on them. Every single investigation shows this, by the way. What we talk about is standard practice, but the investigations always show more abuse, more mutilations. I saw the owner of a farm drive his tractor at this poor cow who couldn't stand up, because you get basically what's called a downed cow, where they've been so intensively milked and had baby after baby taken away from them, they can no longer stand up, their legs sprawl out of the back. They put chains on their legs to keep their legs from sprawling out so they can exploit them further and get as much milk from them as possible. She couldn't stand up, so they ran a tractor into her, they dragged her to the milking parlour, they put the clusters on her udders. They drained every last bit of milk from her while she was convulsing on the floor. These are what these animal farmers do to these poor animals, and they need you to defend them, not to be on the oppressor side. Don't be on the animal farmer side or slaughterhouse workers side. Be on the animal side. Defend them, they need you. Please subscribe. Put 1 in the chat if you're vegan, 2 in the chat if you're open-minded but not vegan yet, 3 in the chat if you're anti-vegan. Double tap the live stream, like, share, comment and subscribe. We're here today in collaboration with Animal Aid. Go and look in the link in the description. They've done an investigation on this place here at ABP Sturminster. Have a look for yourself at what happens inside these places. It's absolutely evil. You know, right? You know though, right? When you see their little eyes go past me, the grieving mothers, shame on you! Shame on you. They've all got new cars here. They've all got new cars.
I was thinking that.
Every single individual. We done?